again, it might sound like a simple question, but what do you enjoy most about playing football? I guess by that I mean playing regular, organised 11
Yeah,
side football.
yeah. Um, it's it's changed really. I would say now my focus playing football has changed to um, I have I have noticed that moving from Lowestoft, unfortunately, it was great playing at a higher level,
Yeah,
but we weren't winning many games, and we were scrapping near the bottom of the table. Um, Last season was one of the first seasons where I've actually challenged to be promoted,
mm.
um, and I absolutely loved that. And I suppose, yeah, a simple question gives you a bit of a simple answer. I think being in contention with winning something
Right.
um, just made me so excited, and I was totally addicted to the football last year. You
Right.
know,
Okay.
and that hasn't happened in a long time. I was
Yeah.
constantly checking scores. I was looking at the tables because I knew that we had the squad to do it, and we were doing it. We're
Yeah.
pulling off some great results, but it's probably the first time when I've actually been so involved in in what the team's doing, and I've experienced so much success.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think any player would say, yeah, winning games, being up in the table, is much better than down there. But
Yeah.
it made me realise, actually, yeah, that's why I want to play. I
Mm.
want to play in teams that are pushing for
Yeah.
promotions rather than wavering. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be my answer to that one.
The lockdown was horrible for everyone on so many levels. But from a Norwich United perspective, it did seem you were really just hitting such a streak. I think the last
Uh,
two, was it 7-1 Woodbridge and
yeah,
4-1 against
yeah,
Dawson, I think. 13 wins or something? Or was it
yeah.
certainly
We
unbeaten?
so many wins and so many goals.
Mm.
We weren't conceding many.
Yeah.
It's sort of the perfect story, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, lockdown completely crushed our chances. I think it's unfortunate that we weren't able to. Well, I know that inevitably that the league would have had to make a decision.
Mm.
Um, I feel so sorry for Stowmarket. I mean, they've absolutely smashed this league, and then
Mm.
all of a sudden you're having to do it all again. I can't
Yeah.
see why they have to prove it all again, but they're going to have to,
Yeah.
and I think they'll do probably a pretty good job at it. Well, they should do anyway. But I mean,
Mm.
yeah, I feel sorry for them, but yeah, I do feel for us as well because
Mm.
us, Stanway as well. There
Yeah.
were teams that were really, really going for it,
Mm.
um, and I think it was called off in sort of a week or 2 weeks. I
Mm.
can't see why we can't have been a little bit more patient, I suppose, because there are other leagues higher that held off, and they've only made the decision a month or two ago, and they've managed to either take a vote and say, yeah, you guys go up, go down. Um, I think people have varying opinions on it in terms of who whether teams should be going up or down.
Mm.
I think my point of view is that if one tier is going to be promoting and relegating, then surely the whole of English football should be doing the same.
Yeah.
There's probably some things that I'll probably need to learn, and someone will say, well, no, actually, no, it works like this. But
Mm.
that's how it works in my mind, that it should
One.
all
Yeah.
be linked.
Mm.
And I think that it's possibly emphasised that some leagues need to get the game on for financial purposes. However, I reckon Stowmarket would also argue that
Mm.
they've paid so much money this
Yeah.
season,
Mm.
on players' budget and trying to go up. It's the same for them,
Yeah.
maybe not as much as um, you know Aston Villa, but it's similar,
Yeah.
uh, and
Absolutely.
it should have been respected, I think. But I mean, it is what it is, and we're gonna have to try and do it again.
Mm.
Um, but
Absolutely.
and I'm sure we can. Um, seeing what we've been doing in pre-season, I think that we're we're in exactly the same position, really. Yeah, we've lost a few, but we've gained some really good players, and we've kept the core.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not worried about where we're going. But yeah, it's frustrating how it was dealt with, really.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's certainly great to watch those performances last year, and if we can have something similar in the future, that would be lovely.
Glad you enjoyed them. We absolutely loved them too.
Yeah, that was great stuff. Just intrigued. Obviously, you play right back, as far as I know, always have. But you have covered at centre back a few times. Are you one of those right backs like Gary Neville and Russell Martin, who's a frustrated centre back, really wants to be in the middle, but ends up playing right back, or is right back your preferred position?
If you're talking about middle, as in centre mid, I'd like to stay well away from there because I'm not good enough for that at any level. Centre back, I really like centre back, but I'll probably play there when I'm older. But I really enjoy getting forward. I've been refreshed to hear from Steve, this week and last week that our philosophy will still be making sure that we can get forward in wide areas. So that involves me, and that's my strength at the moment because I can still get up and down. So whenever I play centre back, I always still want to get forward. And I suppose that's where my downfall is when I play centre back, to be honest, because I can remember playing for Dereham and I was told off by Matty Henman. I was playing away at Wroxham and he grilled me after the game. We set up a goal, but I was overlapping as a centre back. But I suppose, silly move. But it always makes me laugh. So stick me at right back and then I won't leave you so exposed, I suppose.
You're an innovator there, Sheffield United have been credited with inventing the overlapping centre back. So
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that Matt Henman would say the same. He was furious.
Fine. Okay. And absolutely. From watching you last year, obviously you had Finley playing in front of you and everything, but you two down the right was a lot of stuff coming down there, and obviously that gave you the opportunity to overlap with him and some pretty good crosses along the way. So, Steve mentioned when I spoke to him, he wants his sides, as you say, sort of fast in wide areas, things like that, I think he said. But also, he did say he wants the team to be able to be flexible, change shape mid-game, that kind of thing. Is that something which you think you are particularly good at? If he just suddenly says, right, we're going to a back five, you're playing right wing back, but in 10 minutes' time, I need you to play right centre back. Are you fairly adaptable like that, or do you sort of cross?
Oh no! I think that all of the boys that are at the club at the moment, we're playing with Cedric. We had to be good enough to play. So there were times you go away to some teams, and you're just going to have a fight. You have to be good enough and strong enough to do that. But more often than not, we'd actually just, we still need to be turning up, showing people how to play, and trying to move away from the fighting game. I'm more than happy to play in a variety of positions. That, and as a young player breaking into Lowestoft and still here, I'll play anywhere, wherever gets me a game, and wherever I can hopefully show what I can do. I'll be more than happy. Left back, I've played so many games at Lowestoft playing left back, and then I think if we were going even to a back five, I'd go to right of the three. I wouldn't mind doing that. Wherever I can play, I'll be more than happy. So I won't be. I won't be saying to Steve, "No, I'm your right back, and that's it."
It must be more difficult suddenly switching to left back because surely everything's coming from you're on your wrong foot for a start.
Takes a little bit of time, but there are certain things that you can do at left back that like cutting in, for example. I would very rarely cut in on the right side, but I really enjoy. I think that was the only goal that I scored. Not last year, the year before. I don't score many, do I? But yeah, from left back, I was able to cut in. So
yeah,
you weren't at Kirkley then?
no, that's actually at one of the few grounds I haven't been to.
Well, yeah, you missed my only goal last year. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. The fact that I had to tell you that, but
sorry. I tried to go to as many as I could. But,
I know you do. Brilliant.
So that does bring me quite nicely onto my next question, which is obviously Plantation Park is our favourite ground by far. But I do love going to Gorleston, and that's probably my favourite other ground in the league, just because of that, it stands is enclosed. I just wondered, do you have particular grounds you prefer to play at? Does it really matter? Is it like once you're on the pitch, you don't really care? Or do you go, oh God, we're playing there? You've got the 3G pitches, some sloped pitches, mentioning no names, and
there's a very sloped pitch around here, isn't there?
Just round
that's always a good ground to play at, though. Okay. Whether you're running up the slope at Wroxham or running down it. To be fair, for a full-back, it's often quite handy. That slope.
Okay.
But I love playing there because you're guaranteed a good crowd.
Yeah.
There are, it seems you're kind of hoping that the league announce the fixtures with the Norwich City fixture in mind, so that the Norwich City fixture doesn't clash. Because all the Norwich fans, if they don't go to the game, then they'll come to ours. So that always works out quite nicely. I love playing there because you play against some friends as well. I think the one that a lot of us boys talk about is when we go to, say, Woodbridge away, because apples get so much stick at Woodbridge away.
I'm definitely coming to Woodbridge this year then.
Oh, you must see that.
Stick up for him.
He is.
Not that he needs it.
He definitely is the most hated Thurlow Nunn player by all away fans. I'm sure of it. But he's just such a nice bloke.
Yeah.
If they knew how funny he was, but they absolutely hate him. But he always plays pretty well against them. So he shuts them up in the end. But that's probably the most enjoyable place, to be fair. It's not a particularly nice place to go, but it's always got good memories there.
Absolutely. Well, the last game I saw was you beating them 7-1 at home. So I think that was
we're normally pretty good against them. But Apples has to play against them to wind them up a little bit. There's a few funny relationships with their players and definitely their supporters. So long may that continue.
Absolutely, and long may he continue to wind them up.
Well, it's not me. I stay quiet.
No, he does. Applegate can. Absolutely. Okay. So I guess you probably alluded to it a bit, but I'm really interested I think you've said that as players you do still discuss individual games from the past and things. So I guess the answer is but I mean, do you remember past games and results for the last few seasons? Do you remember every goal you've ever scored or whatever it is?
Goals are easy. Goals are easy for me. Results. Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things you sort of you turn up to a ground and then all of a sudden it's just generally what I think is what happens, but it must be like that when you support as well. You go to a place and you think, oh yeah, I remember last year such and such happened, and then when you're walking out on the pitch, it often happens that can you remember slipping over here or shanking a ball out there. More often than not, it's the funny and slightly negative memories that you start reminiscing. But it's all enjoyable. That's what happens when you play at these grounds for consecutive years. That you do gather some memories. But I'm pretty good at remembering sort of games and funny moments. That's what makes me smile.
I believe training starts at the start of this month in small groups. But obviously, are you now training in full size?
We've been doing. Training's been absolutely brilliant. It's been different. Training was class last year. With obviously, it would have to be good to reach the heights of what we did last year. It is different though this year. Obviously, you've got a different management team. They've got their own ideas or slightly different ideas, just building on what we already have, making us a lot tidier. For their to suit their way of playing. But we've been doing a lot of position specific stuff, and that's been a clever way actually of splitting us up into sizable groups / bubbles of players on the training field, so we can stay apart. So yeah, we've been doing sort of 2-hour sessions, 3 times a week. So yeah, we're hopefully thinking, we'll add them up, and then we've got lots of hours where we've been able to work together with our units, and yes, we'll be doing some 11v11 stuff. We've got our first friendly next Saturday, so that's against Fakenham away, I think. So we'll be more than ready for that, because we'll be doing fitness work's been going on for well over a month. So we're sort of ready to go.
Great. Yeah, Steve was saying you'd all been doing fitness work, away from his coaching, effectively, just player-led sort of thing, which was really encouraging thing. A fair few of the new players you may well have played with before from Steve's first spell. I don't know, but there'll be at least a couple you haven't played with. Have they all settled in well? Are they looking good?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the new players that Steve's brought in so far, say. Well, I'm not going to name them because I might not mention one of them. They'll feel a bit left out. But I mean, they've. It's just such an easy group to get involved in, and we are so welcoming. It's one of those groups where you don't even have to try to welcome someone in. It just happens naturally. I've said already, it's sort of ingrained in what happens at the club. There are already so many, socials that are happening. The new boys are invited to those straight away. So I think, if you ask them, how have you settled in? I think that they'd probably be saying, I'm really excited to get going. And I've made a couple of good mates already. So they're looking exciting. They're looking fit as well. So should be good with them on board.
Absolutely. And you must be, I'm presuming you're pretty excited to play a proper full-size game. And so it's making away first friendly. Is that this coming Saturday or the one after?
Yes, this Saturday. To say I'm excited is a complete understatement. It's come much earlier than what I thought. We weren't expecting this date, but we'll certainly take it. I think all of the men and women out there doing all starting their training and starting their games in not just football, in all of their sports. It's just football for me is just such a release, and it's a hobby. But I can't wait. It's been great just to do the training. I'd have taken training for 2 months, but chuck a game in there is brilliant. So, but it means that we're sort of one step closer to starting the season. So, let's get that underway. But we'll see. We'll see how the pre-season goes, because you're not allowed to come into any of the games, are you? But maybe you'll be able to come to the season.
Yeah, certainly hoping that. I think there's a lot of contradictory statements, aren't there? There's been a lot of things. I mean, I don't think it is sustainable long term without crowds, really, in most clubs in this sort of level. So I'd assume once the league games start, we'll hopefully be allowed in, but who knows? Obviously,
pre-season is a huge money maker as well, isn't it? For the local clubs welcoming, the higher league teams.
Yeah, we had Norwich City Youth last year.
I'll bring in a lot of money on the gate. So as soon as we get the supporters in, we'll start to bring the money in for all of the local clubs. The good thing is we've got a date. So we'll stick to that. That should be really exciting.
What are your personal targets for the season, and what do you think the team's targets for the season should be?
I think the team's target is it was fairly apparent in our last training session. It was, it was just a bit of fun, really. But Steve got us to pair up with different people and just talk to one another. Obviously, then welcomed in the under 18s that we haven't spoken to before, and the 21s, and yeah, it's good to mix with those guys. I mean, the first teams that I spoke to, everyone mentioned promotion, and reliving what we had last year. And the nice thing is, it doesn't seem unrealistic at all. I've had seasons where you'd get together with a group of lads and you say, "Yeah, we want to get promoted this year." And you're thinking, "No, we're far from it. Let's just try and stay up, or let's just try and enjoy it." But no, we've got such a solid base this year to kick on again. And yeah, what happened last year could be a positive for us, because actually we are more than ready to go this season, more than ever. I'm sure other clubs are exactly the same. Everyone's in exactly the same position. Galston have signed a few. They're probably going to be trying to get way up there again. I think it'll be an interesting time for a lot of clubs. Certainly for us, we're looking to go up. We're looking to go up. No doubt about that. And then personal level, I think, is to play. I said to the boys, personally, I want to play all of the games. I know that there'll be some rotation, but you have to challenge yourself. I want to play all the games and affect all of the games. And I want to get my assists up. So I want to get 10 plus assists this season. If I can do that, then I'll have contributed in, quite a few of the games. So for me, that's my target. But yeah, you're so much that the team. We want to have a good season and kick on from what happened last season.